This is the end, beautiful friend.
I hate war movies. It brings me right back to the 29th of April 1975. I was 8 years old. Saigon was in panic. The Americans had left. School and business had shut down. I remember the fear, the hopelessness was overwhelmed through everybody. We have a wonderful house, I would say, in the outskirts of the big city. It's just like New West compared with Vancouver. Our home is it large, it's beautiful, it feels safe to stay in. But on that day, the only thing I could say is I was shelved inside that house. The only big holes I can look through is through the door, which is covered by a sheet of metals and wood to protect us from the outsider. In Saigon at the time, every household have a metal sheet door. It's a just like accordion's door. It can open wide and it can shut down easily. But on that day alone, the door now is being enforced with more metal sheet. I remember my dad put some metals sheet, plywood, everything strengthened that door to almost to the point that unbreakable to protect us from the outsiders. But on the top there was a little gap between the sheet of metals. You can look through and see somebody walking by. I remember I couldn't see anything. The road in front of the house was very busy road. There were 4 lane street. Everything was silent and quiet. No sound of kid running down up the street. No sound car. Sometimes we complain about sound or noise on the street. But imagine one day you hear none of that. It means you are alone. Nobody. That's the scary thing. The only thing I hear in the background was my mom calling, "Get away from the door. Come in." My mother wanted to save me from the outsider. At the time, only thing we know is the Viet Cong. Never seen one before, but through image in television, they came like dead. They came with the weapons. They wouldn't understand what we're saying. They came to kill and burn everything down. That's all we learned as a child. And I'm just curious. I want to know who coming. I want to know what they look like. I want to look into their eyes and tell them, please, passing by, nobody here, don't come in. We okay here, we safe here. Don't come in, leave us alone. That's what all I want as a kid. But the whole day, none. In those moments, you you kind of learn that something bad, something sad gonna happen, but the waiting for it is the worst. Later in the afternoon, there were tanks. They were so loud. On those tanks are the true Viet Cong. Vividly, I could remember my mom said, get away from there. I couldn't, because for the first time I saw Viet Cong in my real eyes. True image, they much slimmer than us. Some of them are extremely skinny. They look like skeleton. That some of them just so skinny. They dark with a sunburned skin. They wear green outfit, totally dark green outfit. Uh, they have a hat. Um, I don't have a name for it. It's called mũ nồi. It looks like you have a pot over your head, and all their body covered with branches, with leaves. They camouflage themselves. They rather look at something that I never seen before, something unreal, fascinating enough. That is, they look like Vietnamese. They don't look like Chinese. They don't look like Russians. They look like a lost brothers, a lost uncles to us. But now they came to complete their job as a victors, as the winners in the game, and they have the power all over us. That's scary. I remember we overheard that they will go to door and collect the people who involved with the older government. Um, so we just hope that they miss. They missed my dad, but they didn't. They didn't. Um, May the 7th, there was a troop of Viet Cong. They carry AK guns in the shoulder. They walk from door to door, and you can tell on the street was uncertain. People scream, "The Viet Cong is coming! Run!" But where would we run for? I mean, we have no way to run, and I was angry. We did our best to hide, but we couldn't. Just play hide and seek. Now you got found. I felt hopeless. What could I do to help my dad? I felt I felt fear because what would we do without him? What would they do to my dad? They would hurt him. They would kill him. Um, if I remember, my dad looked a little pale. He looked a little um, disconnected. He kind of lost somewhere. My dad is the man who say so little um, to us. On that day, we opened the door. I mean, my dad opened the door. He's asked all of us to stay behind. He have a short talk with one of the Viet Cong. I came back. He took out one of his traveling bags. Um, Mind you that my dad, the well-dressed man, but not that day he didn't. He just picked up randomly and stuffed into it, to that bag. And then he walked out. He still looked very disoriented, but he was able to sit down in the large couch in the living room um, and look to us. He said, "Kids, come here." So he threw his arm out, and we just jump into it. I always the one who would jump first. I was closer to him, and all my brother and sister around, and he gave us a large, big hug. Um, I remember clearly from his trembling voice. He said, "I must go. I don't know when I'll be back. Look after your mom." And quietly he got up and he walked away. I hear a, a crying out from my mother, who just stood at the corner of the living room, feels so hopeless. She trembled, but her reaction was most like frozen from inside out without know what to do next. I was a short little kid, so I ran free, ran after my dad, and again I heard the sound. My mom said, "Come back here." And again I didn't. So I ran up. Outside was a troop of Viet Cong and a lineup of men in various way, age and look. Every one of them have a bag. Um, they took my dad's arms and pushed him right into the line. Um, my dad turned around, gave me the last look. Here it was a try to say goodbye to dad because we are now loser. We lost, and and the winners now come and collect us away. There's no winning. There's no winner in the child mind. Either you win or you lose in the war games. The kids are the one who felt the pain most.